Hi everybody, this is Christiana coming to you live from the Longmont Yarn Shoppe, and today will be our final fiber at 4. I know this was kind of teased last week, but this is not goodbye, it's just farewell and we'll see you at another time. So instead of fiber at 4, we're now going to be doing Coffee with Christiana, which will be Tuesday mornings at 9:30. Also going to be live on Facebook and will be put on our YouTube channel as well. So for our send-off for Fiber at 4, I wanted to talk about some of our favorite books. And I don't know if you all are familiar with these books, but I have a whole stack here and I love each and every one of them. And the ones that I don't have, I really want to add to my library. So all of these books I'm about to show you are available at the Fiber at 4 shopping category on the website. So here we go. Hey Nancy. So the first book I want to show you is called Short Row Knits, and this is by Carol Feller, who was on Fiberside Chats, I want to say a couple months ago. For those of you who are not familiar with short rows, this is an absolutely amazing technique for sweaters, socks. They even have hats in here. And short rows are great, especially in garments, because you can shape the shoulders so that the sweater lies better across the shoulder seams. Love Carol Feller. She's really cool, Nancy. Thanks. So this book is $22.99. I'm going to tell you all right now, this is the last copy we have in shop. So if you need a little help with short rows, you might want to jump on this book now. And this book is really cool because it not only has patterns, but it has techniques for short rows. So it's, turn to the next page here. So it would be like wrap and turn versus the Japanese short rows. I believe there's also a German short row in here too. So you've got all of the techniques. Plus, she has it broken down into different sections featuring different patterns as well. So, let's look at this. I thought this was so awesome. This is called the Toro Cardi with the shawl collar, and sorry, let me get on the other side. There we go. Isn't that adorable? And the lace work continues up the back of the sweater as well. So this section is when she's introducing you to different types of short rows. The next section is talking about shaping, so how you can utilize short rows to shape like the edgings on a project. And I had to show you guys this shawl. I thought it was so awesome. This is the Diamondite? Sorry, I'm probably saying that wrong. Center out shawl. And oh my gosh, isn't that fabulous? Thought that was lovely. And then the last section is short rows and garments. So it's like using short rows to shape the bottom of the hem, or like I said earlier, using short rows and shoulder shaping. And this has some beautiful, beautiful patterns in it. So let's look at the Merindo waterfall cardigan. Isn't that beautiful? So if you need a little help on short row techniques, I would recommend looking at Short Row Knits by Carol Feller. Thanks for the hearts going up the side of the screen, guys. I appreciate that. Brings me great joy to see those little hearts going up and down. So the next book I want to share with you all is a book called Salt and Timber. This is by Lindsay Fowler, and this book is $40. And I have wanted a copy of this book ever since it was published, and I was never able to get my hands on one because every time someone could get these books in stock, they flew out the door. This book is really, really popular, and I can see why. It's a lot of fun. So as soon as we got it in, of course, I bought myself a copy. So Salt and Timber Knits from the Northern Coast. This book it's strictly a pattern book. It has blankets, shawls, sweaters, socks, hats, and so there's no technique in here. It's strictly patterns. but the photography in this book is absolutely breathtaking. So this pattern is called the Storm Watch Cowl, and here's what I mean about the photography. So there's the cowl itself, and they took these photos. I don't know where they took the photos. I want to say somewhere in England, but the photos are just beautiful. So there's a cowl, and this is the Cape Lookout shawl. So this is a great book, literally for everybody. If you want to make accessories, this is a good book. If you want to make sweaters, this is a good book. And of course, here's the book's namesake. This is the Salt and Timber Shawl. Pardon me. And then this is the Culmination Blanket, which I think is really fun that this is the last pattern in the book. So there it is, right there. Pardon me. So again, oh, this is the Pacific Northwestern coast. I apologize. So here in the U.S. So again, that is Salt and Timber by Lindsay Fowler, and this is $40, and I think we have 3 or 4 copies in stock right now. So pardon me just for a moment. All right. So we could not be talking about books without me mentioning my favorite designer, which would be Melissa Leitman. So this is Knitting the Perfect Fit. Excuse me. This is a wonderful book because it has not only designs and technique and patterns in it. This covers everything from body shape to sweater design, how certain styles do look better on certain body types. So this book is $22.99. So to kind of show you right here, this page is called Knitting to Flatter, and what she does in this part, excuse me, is she instructs you how to properly measure your body to get knits that fit. And then over here, what's really cool is she kind of outlines all the different body types. So you've got hourglass, inverted triangle. Gosh, Teresa, you'd think I'd be inhaling fiber all day. Triangle, inverted triangle, round, and rectangle. So this is a great book to have just as a reference in your library, because not all of us are the same body shape, not all of us are the same body type. So this teaches you how to knit for that particular body style. So I wanted to show you guys this absolutely amazing stranded colorwork sweater. This is called Aberdeen, and this does use fingering weight yarn, so really super fine yarn. But if you look over here, she has listed the body types that this would be most flattering on. So you've got the triangle, inverted triangle, rectangle, and hourglass. And this is a more fitted sweater. So, and she says in here too, the style of the sweater, how it's supposed to fit. So if you are a sweater knitter, this is a great book, not only for the patterns, but as a reference to have on your shelf. And Teresa has this book too. We were talking about it earlier.
I need to read it.
We both need to read it. So that is Knitting the Perfect Fit by Melissa Leitman, and that is $22.99. I cannot recommend this book enough if you're a sweater knitter. Okay.
Yes.
Taking another sip. All right. So crocheters, I didn't forget you, because I am one of you. We as a staff absolutely love this book. This is called Crocheted Succulents, and this book is $24.99. And this book is wonderful for people like me who can't seem to keep succulents alive for some reason. I do have an aloe vera plant that is trying to take over the world, but any other kind of succulent, for some reason, I kill them. So you can't kill these. So I need to get a copy of this book. But This employs kind of your amigurumi techniques and using different yarns to create different textures. And they actually do use actual little pots to put these guys in. So I wanted to show you guys. They have some great pictures in here. They have all of the plants kind of grouped together. Nancy says hi, Teresa, by the way.
Hi, Nancy.
And then in the book, the patterns are listed individually. So they've got great pictures where you can kind of compare the sizes of all the different plants. And what's really awesome about here is your gauge is not important whatsoever, because nothing in nature is perfect. So it's okay if these plants are a little imperfect, or I guess natural.
And they don't poke you.
And they don't poke you. That's another good point. Thank you, Teresa. There are no sharp, pokey things on these succulents. So this book it dives right into the patterns, but if you go to the back of the book, they do have techniques and how to get them started. So if you have little amigurumi experience, just head to the back of the book and you will find all the information you need to start these little cacti. We do have a crocheted cactus book too, but I thought that this one was really cute.
That's a brand new one, isn't it?
It's pretty new, yeah. I think we've only had it a short period of time. Let's see here. Published 2019, so I think we've had it about a year.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, we've had the crocheted cactus one for a while. This one is a bit newer to us.
Yeah.
So that is Crocheted Succulents, $24.99. And then this book, oh my gosh, we were oohing and eyeing over it when it first came in. This is Topsy Turvy Inside Out Knit Toys. So if you're not a crocheter but you still want to make stuffed toys, this is a fantastic book. This is by Susan B. Anderson, who also wrote the Itty Bitty Hats book, which we happen to have on the shelf as well. So I can hear you saying right now, Christiana, what makes this book so awesome? It just looks like knitted toys. Well, these knitted toys are two toys in one. You turn them one way and they're one kind of critter. You turn them another way. You turn them inside out and they're a different critter.
Like a popple.
Like a popple. Okay, let's take a poll. How many of you out there actually remember what a popple is? Teresa and I do. So this one is called Egg to Penguin. So there's the egg. You turn it inside out and it becomes a penguin. And then you can turn it back into the egg. And the eyes are embroidered on, so this is a great present for little ones. Madison has no idea what a popple is. Jody knows what a popple is.
Who doesn't know?
Madison Charles does not know what a popple is.
Tell him to Google popples.
Okay, Teresa says, Teresa says to Google popples. And I think what's really cool in here too is they have kind of some opposites. So they have a fox that turns into a chicken. But this one I thought would be great. I've been talking to a lot of lovely people who, Madison says that they will Google popples. I've been talking to a lot of really lovely people who just found out that they're going to be grandparents. So I think this would make an awesome book for grandparents or parents to be. But I especially wanted to show this pattern because I thought this was fantastic. This is a doll within a doll. So the recipient is getting two different dolls. But this book is $17.95. It does give a little introduction into it because this is a different kind of technique because you're not just creating a stuffed animal and then sewing it shut. It does show you how to put the two different projects together to create the topsy-turvy toy.
And it's a nice spiral.
Yes. I wish all knit and crochet publishers would do this, is publish it in a spiral form instead of paperback. So this book, as you're working on it, is going on a project, will stay open very, very nicely. So yeah, I wish every project book was like that.
That would be nice.
Alrighty. This is not only one of my favorite books, it's one of Teresa's favorite books too. We have autographed copies because we're
That's
special.
right. We're special.
But this is the Tunisian Crochet Handbook, A Beginner's Guide by Tony Lipsy, who will also be on Fiberside Chats, I want to say March 19th.
No, let me double check.
Okay, Teresa's going to double check. But this is a wonderful book because it covers just about everything Tunisian crochet related.
March 19th.
March 19th. Okay, great. 11 a.m. Sorry, Teresa. So this covers everything from picking your materials to learning how to cast on to learning how all the different stitches.
1 p.m.
1 p.m. Mountain Time?
Yes.
Okay, so Tony Lipsy will be on Fiberside Chats. March 19th, 1 p.m. Mountain Time. That's after the time change, so that's going to mean that Arizona will be on the same time zone as the Pacific time zone.
Ooh, now you're getting technical.
I'm getting very technical now. So, starting at the very beginning of the book, she shows you the different supplies you need. So this is super, super beginner. If you've never picked up a Tunisian hook, this would be a great book for you. And then we've got starting the project, so making your slip knot, making your chain, and then how to pick up the loops to create a Tunisian project. If you're not familiar with Tunisian crochet, it's kind of like combining knitting and crocheting into one. It is super, super fun. So if you're like me and Teresa and you love both knitting and crocheting, this is a great craft. So,
And if I'm going to crochet, it's going to be Tunisian.
yes. I tend to just do my traditional crochet.
Yeah.
But I like them both.
Yes.
So then she also has a stitch glossary of the different stitches. So you've got the basic Tunisian, the Tunisian knit stitch, which is the one I actually use the most. I just like the appearance of kind of the knitted fabric.
Yes.
Another good thing about Tunisian crochet too is because it's kind of doubled, it makes very, very warm garments, which has come in real handy in the past couple weeks around here, you know, when we've barely made it to 0.
Yes.
But, so here's a really cool pattern I wanted to show you all. This is the Ashford striped pillow. So it's not, crocheting is not just for garments and blankets. You can do all sorts of things. And if you look on the back here, she's got some mitts, a headband. Oh, that's a sweater. I couldn't tell what it was looking at the camera. A cowl and a wrap. So this book is $24.99. The Tunisian Crochet Handbook, A Beginner's Guide by our friend Tony Lipsy. And if you prefer traditional crochet over Tunisian, Tony is also an amazing traditional crochet designer. I recommend checking her out on Ravelry. Okay, I love this book. I love the entire series. I have put all the books that we carry from the One Skein Wonders line on the Fiber at 4 page, but I just wanted to share with you guys the original. This is a wonderful book if you have yarn left over from projects, or maybe somebody gifted you one skein and you have no idea what to do with it. I know I kind of go through a phase where I'm like, okay, I've got one skein of yarn, but I don't want to make a hat. I don't want to make a pair of socks. I've got enough cowls. There's got to be something else I can use this yarn for. Well, this book is definitely for people like me. This guy is $19.95. The original One Skein Wonders book does have both knitting and crocheting. I will tell you, crocheters out there, it's more knitting than crocheting. But if you want some really cool ideas, I thought this coffee cup cozy was really neat. It's like a basket weave knit pattern on there. And these books do use all different yarn types, so it's not just one specific yarn type unless they mention it in the title of the book. And I thought this was super, super cool. They made a hair clip with glass beads on there, or sequins actually. And there's also a knitted basket. Oh, I thought these were cool too. They're little coasters with a beaded edge.
Oh, nice. That's what I use my block the. What do I want to say for doing a sweater? The swatch.
Oh, you use swatches for coasters. That's actually a really good idea.
Yes.
When I swatch, I just rip the yarn out and use it in my project. If I swatch. Like I said, do as I say, not as I do. Always swatch. I thought this guy was a really cool idea too. It is a napkin ring, and that guy is knit, but it also has the beads on the edges there. So it's just an amazing book with a bunch of amazing ideas in it for one skein of yarn. So we also have crocheted one skein wonders for babies, and I believe also crocheted one skein wonders for babies. But these books, I love them. This is such a good book to have on your shelf. So again, that's $19.95 for the original One Skein Wonders book. And there are 101 designs in there. Alrighty. So here is another great book for those of us who love to both knit and crochet. This is called Our Maker Life. It is $24.99, and this is another one that I have a copy of and I absolutely love. This book is wonderful because not only do they have patterns, but they have stories and essays by different makers from all over the country, whether they're designers or yarn dyers or spinners. So we've got a whole bunch of stories in here. I wanted to show this because he made a mask out of yarn. How awesome is that?
Wow.
Yeah. I'm thinking I ought to find a mask and try to duplicate that. That is so cool. But it's very inspiring because you're reading all these stories from different makers across the United States, and I think there might even be a couple from outside the U.S. So it's a very uplifting book, and they have some absolutely beautiful patterns in it. This is called the Generations Hat, and this is made with wool, and it looks like holding it double with a lace weight yarn. Isn't that stunning?
It's very pretty. Our pom-poms, alpaca pom-poms,
Yeah.
look really nice on that.
You could definitely use one of our Toft alpaca pom-poms on there. I thought that was gorgeous. I love the color combination too with the greens, purples, and blues, but those are my colors. And then for us crocheters, there are more crochet patterns than this in here, but I wanted to show this guy because I thought this was absolutely adorable. This is a crocheted hoodie, and this I believe takes, I want to say kind of a heavy DK weight. So there's a very boxy, very straightforward, but absolutely adorable at the same time. So I think this would look great out of some of the Dream in Color yarn that has, or Malabrigo that has the variegation to it. That would look so cute. Or even just a straight up tonal. I don't think you could go wrong with any color yarn on this guy. So this is Our Maker Life. It is $24.99, and yes, also they do have a crochet dress in here. I'm not sure I'd ever make it, but it is cute.
I wouldn't wear it.
I might make it for somebody else.
There you go. A little kid.
And I could not talk about books without talking about this guy. Love the crocheted hoodie. I know that crochet hoodie is really cute. That, if I can be totally upfront with you all, that is the reason why I bought this book, was because of that crocheted hoodie. But I ended up loving everything in here, so it's a great book. So I couldn't talk about books without talking about a shop favorite, which is the Little Felted Dogs. I'm not sure if I'd ever make anything from here, but this is such a cute book. I kind of want it just to have it.
Yeah.
So this guy is $14.99, and this not only shows you how to make the little dogs, but it is also a great starting move. Speaking of dogs, I hear one outside. This also gives you great tips and tricks on how to start your felting, all the different tools you're going to need, and it gives you instructions on how to pull the wool so that you have enough. And then this is basically sculpting with wool, so it teaches you how to sculpt the body, how to sculpt the appendages and then put them all together. So I figured I had to show the Chihuahua because of, you know, my mom. My mom has an adorable little Chihuahua, and she actually looks kind of like this guy.
Like that one.
So there's a Chihuahua. And then I figured, because Bandit, our shop dog, is a terrier, I'd have to show you a terrier. This is a Westie, and I know Westies their fur is typically all white, but if you wanted to make a Bandit, you could get some gray, some brown, kind of mix them together and make a little Bandit. There's also in here, and I forgot to mark it, but I should have marked it, different techniques to create different dogs. So this is an Old English sheepdog.
Kind of looks like my dog with hair.
Yeah, with your hair.
With hair not shaven.
So it has the different techniques on how to use longer pieces of wool to create a fuzzier puppy. So this is, again, little felted dogs, easy projects for making adorable pups, and that is $14.99. Well, my last book that I wanted to share with you all tonight is one that I really, really need to add to my collection. This is Inventive Weaving on a Little Loom. So this is great for those of us who have rigid heddle looms like the Cricut or the Flip. This book is $29.95, and this book literally goes start to finish with little looms. So it has a glossary of the different types of little looms that are available and the pros and cons of each particular loom, which I think that is incredibly useful information. And I didn't mark the page in the book, but this book also has a page on different stretches you can do if you're weaving and your body starts to get a little tired. So it goes over shrinkage. Where's the pages about the looms? I should have marked it. So this is what kind of rigid heddle should I buy? And it's got about 6 different looms to look at. So there's our buddy the Cricut right there. So we've got the Cricut, the Flip. There's a couple other different brands of looms in here. But let's go to this page that I have marked. So this also has instructions on how to warp your loom, which is great for people like me who do more knitting and crocheting and tend to forget how to warp our looms. All this information is available right here. So they've got the peg method, which is what I would use to warp my Cricut, but they also have instructions on how to use a warping board. So there's a lot of great information in here. And they also have wonderful projects. So this is the Morse code scarf. I know we used to have one here at the shop. I don't know if we still do. But this is using Morse code to write messages in the scarf. So they have a message in here that says, I love you. So this is a really cool project. I think it would make a really thoughtful gift too. You can put a little code in there for something. Like
For
I
special,
love you,
yeah.
or happy birthday. And here's something that I thought was really, really cool that I honestly never would have thought of. This is felted coasters.
That's
So
kind of
you,
tight.
yeah. So you'd go ahead and weave them like normal, and then you'd felt them like you would felt knitted slippers or whatever. So this book, I couldn't find it quickly, but they also have a bracelet pattern in here, or bracelet instructions, and just how to use different types of yarns. There's also different patterns, like using your pickup stick. Just different. Isn't that cool? Putting beads in there.
I was wondering about that.
So this is an absolutely awesome reference book, especially for those of us who are kind of novice weavers. This is great to have in your library. So again, that is $29.95, and that is Inventive Weaving on a Little Loom. Well, we've come to the end of Fiber at 4, and this is our last one, and it's a little bittersweet because we are going to be doing something different, but at the same time, it's been my absolute joy and pleasure to join each and every one of you every Sunday afternoon. And like I said at the beginning, this isn't goodbye, this is, hey, we'll see you later. So thank you so much for making Fiber at 4 a success. Thank you for supporting our shop, and we wouldn't be here without you guys, your support and your love. I can't tell you how much that means to each and every one of us. So thank you so much. And so starting this Tuesday, we're going to have Coffee with Christiana, and that's going to be every Tuesday morning at 9:30, whether I'm here or not. So if I'm not here, it's still going to be called Coffee with Christiana, just someone will be, subbing for me. I'm going to miss Fiber at 4. Oh, thank you guys so much. Yeah, it's been my absolute joy to do this. So I will see you guys on Tuesday. Oh, thank you guys so much. They're going to miss us, Teresa.
Aww.
So, Tuesday, our first Coffee with Christiana, I'm going to be talking to Jennifer Miller from Theodora's Pearls. And hey, if you guys have any questions you'd like me to ask her, go ahead and message us on Facebook or Instagram, or send us an email. And I'll be sure to let Jennifer know that there are some burning questions out there that people want answered. So, we will see you guys later. Have a lovely rest of your Sunday, and thank you so much for joining us.